Alright, I'm back. I don't know what happened there. Um, what dates? Give me a date. Preferably not February or March, actually, 2020. Probably be, the stops would be a bit too big there, so give me another day outside of that, and it should be fine to do. Is the sound okay as well? Let me know what the sound is like. It should be a-okay. Let me just share this in the Telegram here. Feb 2021, yeah, I can do that if you want. Um, that's fine. Let's 2 seconds. USD live. Okay, share this into the Telegram now, and then we'll start. So here we go. Okay, I'll go to start. I think. Okay, so Feb 2021. Let's get out of this then and go back to new simulation. February 2021. I'm not too sure if I've done that actually on the channel. No, I don't think so. So let's do it. What day do you think we should go for in February? So I will change the account size. 70,000. And we'll start off on Monday the 8th, 2021, yeah? Be sure to share this around just to get as much people in as possible. What I'll do here is before I start, I'm just gonna post it in another group. What is the sound like? Is all good? Is it all good there? Um, let's see. I'm just posting it into another group. Okay, so the better, this will be a lot better if we get people, more people in, and we can have a bit of interaction, because you know we'll learn a lot easier as well talking to each other. So let's see how we get on here. More people are joining now. Sound is clear, that's perfect. So we're gonna go for the first Monday, well, the second Monday in February 2021, and we're just changing the spreads to what they are on our raw accounts on IC, and get charged around £350 per lot, and 350. It's perfect. And yeah, we're all good to go here. So let's add some time frames. We're gonna start off with the 15, the 30 minute, the hourly, 4 hour, and daily. Let's see here. Okay, so all good. Let's skip to our trading session, which will be around 5:30 to 6:30. So that's perfect. Right, let's scale fix these. Now, if you have any questions at all, don't be afraid to ask. You know, we're all here to learn new things, so don't be afraid just to ask any questions. So all right, so just looking at the weekly here, we are quite bullish at the moment. You know, we've broken above this weekly resistance, and we have continued a further 380 pips above that zone. So we will be looking for buys, but I will keep in mind that we may get a small pullback. Looking at the daily here, let's zoom into the daily. As you can see with the daily, we're in a bullish trend, completely bullish trend, and there's no reasons for sales at all here, unless we can catch them on the lower time frames. But just looking at this daily, there's no sales at all so far. Right, the 4 hour, we are coming up to a form of resistance somewhere in around here, and we do furthermore have a support around this level at around 14424, and we have a resistance around 145. So just around the off 14420 and 145. That's perfect. So next thing we have to do is drop down onto the hourly. So with the hourly, same thing, we have a bit of a resistance up here, which is fine. I'm gonna have a look at this on the 30-minute just in a little bit more detail. Okay, so resistance around this level, that's perfect. Then we do have a support around here. Below this level, we have another support around here, and if you see, if you bring it across, it matches up as well with over here. So let's put a line through this just to accentuate it on the chart. And let's clone it over here. Perfect. So we can't see what ranges we're coming into because we don't have that data, which is unfortunate. But we can have an overall look at price. So let's just play away here, and we will go a little bit quicker than usual. Our risk will be 2%, which is our normal risk, and everything else is fine. Visual mode. So is everyone all right with that? Just marking up some simple resistances and support. Oh, good. Okay. So what I will be doing here is waiting just to see how price reacts to this level. Let's have a look at the 4-hour here. We are starting to come up. The 4-hour high is around 14492. 30-minute high is, yeah, it's kind of broken, but I will wait as we get closer to London Open. So let's just have a look here at the 15-minute. Okay, you're right there. We need to check news. No news so far. Let's just go into the future a couple of more days. And we have CPI on the 10th, so that will be on Wednesday. So we'll worry about that when it comes to it. Okay, on the 15, yeah, it's not really looking too good. Bum, bum, bum. So just waiting here and just seeing how prices reacting, you know, I'm not rushing into anything. This is the 4-hour high as well. Yeah, I've been trading full time the last year now. Properly full time the last year, and I was kind of on and off over the last year and a half really, but full time over the last year. I don't just trade with FTMO, I do have my own funds as well, so You know, FTMO are good, don't get me wrong, but long term you need to be a little bit self-sustainable. So we're starting to come up here, and I'm noticing this on the hourly here, and as the hourly has kind of wicked already, it's quite nice. Okay, what can we do here? So the 4-hour candle is gonna close in 15 minutes time, so let's just see how that goes. And London Open is in 15 minutes as well, so probably just best to wait till we get a bit into that. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to ask. So we are starting to come down a bit here, and to be honest here, if you have a look at this all here is just range. We're just ranging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 hours of range here, so it's important that you identify that when you're trading, and you just avoid it at all costs, because what's going to happen is you're going to get traders that are going to take breaks on highs, breaks on lows, and then they're dragged to and from between the ranges, and they're just going to get caught out over and over again. Yeah, in the new year, that is the plan. The plan will be to help other people out, a lot of mentoring, and I will also potentially have a course, but that will be in the new year, and it will be on a very consistent basis, kind of one-to-one, where if we have a big community as well, all of us can come in and help each other, but it will be centered around this type of strategy. Now you can use this strategy for swing trading also, but I prefer just to use it on the lower time frames, because you're not sitting at the charts all day as well. You're only on the charts for a few hours a day. So yeah, I'll be definitely planning to mentor people in the new year. So here we go, we're just approaching London Open now, so we should get a nice push of volatility. Let's see how this 30-minute closes, because it could be interesting. Yeah, it just closed below, unfortunately. Just below. Nothing for me as of yet. And I believe that 4-hour candle has just started as well. So let's zoom in here just so we can create a clear idea of what's going on. So we know that our 4-hour low is, you know, around 8 pips away. These candles are very small for 4-hour candles, and it's probably just because the volume is starting to come back in. Okay, so looks a little bit promising here. What I might start doing is skipping a few candles, just to see what happens, and you know, it'll be less boring for people to watch, basically. So I'm just noticing that 15 minute there, but it's too much of a weak confirmation for myself. I prefer at least a 30 here or above, because we have multiple rejections there at that level. So now we're getting this pullback here, so this is very interesting. Let's mark up this on. Yeah, it's fine. I'd actually prefer this on a 30. So the 4 hour, I believe, yeah, is coming back down. We're starting to break lows. Only problem is that you're finding this long term bullish trend, you know, but you can catch a couple of pips if we start closing below these levels, but nothing as of yet. Let's skip this candle here because we're taking our time. Okay. So let's have a look at what's going on here. So we have closed below this support here. So let's see what is happening here. Yeah, so let's see if a bigger top wick is created. First. There we go. And we're getting a bigger top wick here. So let's see what's happening. Not great price action. This is where you just need to sit on your hands, you know. You can't overcomplicate it. Just sit on your hands and just relax. If anyone has any more questions in the meantime, pop them in. And now is a good time while price is doing nothing. Really, we're just ranging. So what I'll do here is I'll skip 15 minutes and see what's going on with this hourly. So yeah, still can't really take anything at the moment. Just looking at it here. No, I can't. Boom. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, around this level here. Yeah, so I journal, but you know, there's multiple online sites that you can use. I think Trixie is one. Trello, I think, is another that you can use. But I just prefer to just do it on a Google spreadsheet. You know, it's just as easy. And I've journaled for years now, so I have a lot of data there. You can use my FX book as well, and it's pretty basic though. So we are coming down here, so let's just have a look at this for a second. We're coming down. The hourly is starting to break the lows, and the 15-minute has just closed. So let's see what will happen here with this 15-minute. I want a decent, yeah, that should be good enough for me here. So what I'll do here is I'll take a sell. So where will my stop be? So just looking here, you know, we do have a support at this level, so could be a little bit tricky. My stop is going to be around 10 pips, and my TP will be around the bottom of this range here. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's bring this up. So you know, we're starting to break out of this range here, so it's important that you notice that. And on the 4 hour we're coming down. Now this could be just a temporary move down, I'm not looking to hold any long-term sells at the moment at all. So let's actually open this trade here, and we may have to start managing risk very soon. So let's slow it down also and see what's going on. So we're starting to come up a little bit, you know. There's 10 minutes left for this 15 to close, so I'm just keeping an eye on a level that I have in mind. Otherwise should be fine. Okay, so we're coming down still. I'm not getting the push that I wanted at all, so I may have to start managing risk soon. Let's just be a little bit patient. So the 30-minute time frame is closing in 5 minutes. So just have to be patient as possible. Okay, so you can see there we've closed below now, and we've also closed below this 15-minute support at around this level, so it's quite good. The only thing I don't like really is the volume in these candles is very bad, to be honest. It's really bad, but we'll play ahead and I'll be ready to manage risk pretty soon. So we may come up and just retest this level here. Dun, dun. Really taking its time, this trade. So yeah, a Google spreadsheet does the job. So we're flipping here actually. So that's nice. Now that we're flipping, you know, this could be our new top wick. So if anything comes above this level, I'm gonna start managing risk. But yeah, journal your Google Slides and Google Sheets is just the man for that. Although if you want more statistics like risk to rewards, profit ratio, and expectancy, you can use the more expensive journals. Okay. So this 15 minutes closing and we are starting to push up here. So, you know, that was a big push there. So I'm getting a little bit iffy about this trade at the moment. We have 1 minute left, so I will let it close unless it breaks the high of the 15. So now this is where it gets tricky because we've broken the high of that 15 there and now we're coming up a bit. So what I'll do here is I'll close out this entire trade, because if you look at it from this standpoint, this can be a fake out here. So, you know, it's best to avoid that completely, especially with the volume that came into play there. Pushed it up quite a lot. Don't close your trades out until, you know, for example, like there we broke a high, so that's a valid close. Or if you break a 30-minute high, it's a valid close. You know, I think it's a bit of a myth that just close it whenever you want to close the trade, whenever it suits you best to close the trade. And whatever goes with your risk management strategy. So in that case, I used a 10 pip stop there. So I wanted to manage risk at around 5 pips. So let's go to the next session here. And the move ended up playing out in the end, which was nice. Very, very nice. But unfortunately, you know, we had to manage risk. It is what it is. Let's go to New York session here. And we are coming down into the zone here, which is a little bit, it's not the best looking. What I may do here is just go to the next day. And let's go to half 6 here. That's perfect. So as you can see, we're price here. If we just adjust these zones, yeah, the ranges aren't too good. So let's just delete this one off the screen. Yeah. That is fine. So we have our 2 zones there. Where would our next zone be? You know, you could take buys here, but it's just tough. You're coming into a lot of this choppy price. Sells wise, you have a support around here. Maybe cleaner to take sells below, potentially below this area here. But we'll see as we approach it. The daily has closed bearish and it's kind of came back down into the range. The 4 hour has came back below, but we are, if you look here, you have 1, 2, 3 rejections in this area, so we're in a bit of a rejection area, so it's important to note that. Let's just skip a bit here. Okay, so looks like we're coming down here a bit. Yeah, we're closing in a couple of minutes time. So let's have a look at that there. Yeah. Okay, so we're at around half 8 here. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. So the previous 4 hour did actually close below, which is good. And the problem that we have here really is the zones that we're coming into. You know, they're not the cleanest at all. Yeah, they're not too clean. even if it does break below, you know, this is probably the cleanest area to come into. But here you're just coming into kind of a mess. Yeah, look at all this here. So, you know, if you do break down here, you have the potential to come into around this area, but it's just very risky for me. So let's skip ahead. Yeah, if you see that strong reaction there to that area there, it's very difficult. So now we are closing below. Let's see how we react at this level. It is 10 o'clock, so what tends to happen here is that price could range out. Yeah, you could expect volume to break it, but it depends on the time. And you know, if you're at a London open or a New York session open, yeah, you could be a little bit riskier, definitely. So let's have a look at the 4 hour here. We are starting to come back down. You know, I'm thinking of entering a sell here and aim for this wick fill around 12 pips. It's just, you know, you are coming. I don't really like it with how much we moved, so I'm just willing to sit out here. You don't need to be in trades every single day. Right, so let's skip ahead here. I'd prefer here is basically a retracement, form a resistance, and then revisit the low. That's what I'll be looking for here. So maybe we might get a resistance somewhere up around this level, but we'll see. We will see what happens. Okay, let's have a look at that on a 15-minute chart. Yeah, it's not really a confirm yet, you know, it's quite weak. Let's see. So at the moment we are creating a resistance, so let's just mark that up. Alright, so we're creating a resistance here. We are at session open as well. The only problem is this 1 hour candle here. I don't like it. It has more potential, you know. We haven't even made a top wick, so I'm not too interested in that there. Let's just clone this over just so you can see it on the 1 hour. And the start of the 4 hour as well, so we should get a top wick. These 4 hour candles are a bit off on the simulator, and they're different to normal times, so sometimes I actually do get a little bit confused with them. So is that our 4 hour top wick and hourly top wick? More than likely not. So let's just skip this here because it's taking its time. So we closed on 15-minute. Still quite early within this 4 hour candle and the hourly candle to take anything. These candles are quite small on the 30-minute. There would be a high probability of coming down to revisit this low, but it is only 10 pips away. Let's have a look here on the daily and the 4 hour. Yeah, I'd rather wait this out here. So let's skip another 15 minutes and have a look at that 30-minute closure. So the 30-minute close a little bit nicer than the previous one. However, there's not much volume in it. I trade both. You can trade the first breakout like one of these up here. The problem with this was that there was supports down here, so I like to see clean candles. And then you can trade the retest then in the New York session. Happens a lot of the time. But the ranges here are quite small, as you can see there, you know, they're not great at all. So what we'll do here is we will go to the next day, to your trading session. See, I prefer to see ranges like this. So below here you have a nice range that you're coming into, and above here you do in fact have a nicer range. But if I'm trading the first breakout, more than likely there needs to be nice candles there, you know, for me to take that trade. If there's a lot of support and resistance in that area, I tend to leave it. Just from me back testing and seeing all this play out, I'd rather leave it. Yeah, so we can come down to here if this happens. So what I'll do here is I'll skip a little bit because we're only a few days in and not much is going on. So there is the first close. Can we get a confirm? So we are technically, we're faking out here. From a technical standpoint, we've broken through this zone here. We've come down to this support and we've we actually closed below on the 15, but doesn't look too good. Let's look at the daily here. Daily is coming back up, and the 4 hour, yeah, these 4 hour candles are very, very bad. This is probably the best one. I do like the idea of a fake out here, to be honest. The only problem is that we are very early into London session. But do you know what? We have volume on our side. We could potentially take it. So what would our stop be here? It would be around, see, if you had a stop below here, that's completely fine, around 13 pips, but I'm gonna bring it up to around 11 pips here. So this is just a fake out idea here. You know, I would have liked a lower wick, but I know that we are at London Open, so when we're at kind of times of volume, sometimes you don't even get that lower wick. So let's open our trades here, because if we do need to manage risk, we will appropriately. So there you go, you can see in the first minute you get that push with London Open. Let's zoom into price here and just see how it's playing. What I will do here is just wait for this 15-minute to close and see how it closes. Once we can close above here, I suppose we should be good. So as soon as we go into around 10 pips profit, there we go. So I've got the break even now. You know, we're coming up to resistances here. There is a high probability of this trade continuing if we do close above this level, but we are coming up to a resistance. Do I want to be in this trade for a little bit longer? Potentially. So what I could do here is, oh, where did that go off there? Stop loss. I want my stop loss. Break even. Yep. Perfect. So what I'll do here is I'll just let this 30-minute close and see how, if we do continue on. You know, it could be a good idea to secure some. Definitely is a good idea to secure some at this level. But I just see the potential for a runner, and if you can get in before that London Open push, a lot of the times you will have a nice runner. So taking our time. Yeah, I'm at break even, so that's fine. If you have any questions about this trade, just ask. So let's speed this up a bit here because it's taking too long. So as you can see now, right, so look at this now. You have another 10 pips to come into here easily. Definitely got the break even. I will secure some soon enough. So let's see. Could be a little bit choppy here. So I'm in this trade roughly an hour now at the moment. So there you go. We're coming up now into around 20 pips profit. So this could have been a potential for a scale in area, but because I was in the trade, I didn't really want to scale in anymore. So what you could do here is you could bring your stop up and start moving it along with the trend. So bring it up around here. It's fine. I will start off by securing some profit here. I'll secure around 80%. Am I okay to secure 10 pips if your stop loss is 20? You know, it's bad risk to reward, but what I use is a fixed lot size. So I actually don't use a lot size where you calculate it by risk. So risk to reward can be quite personal in my opinion, you know, but I wouldn't use a 20 pips stop and secure at 10 for me because it's a bad hour. But some people do it, and some people are fine with that, you know. So where I would have went to break even, I would have closed 90. Alright, so I went to break even, I believe, when I was in 10 pips, wasn't it? So I went to break even around here. So if you see, I went to break even in around 10 pips, so that would have been around up here. And then we got that pullback for the 30-minute bottom wick, and then we got the continuation there. So entry 1 is on the fake out, which has the most potential to run. So around here is entry 1. Entry 2 is up here, and then maybe you could have another entry up here. So what I'll do here is I'll close 70 and let the rest run because it has good potential here. Stop loss at break even and take this off. So some people, they do move their stops up, with the trend, but I don't really like that. Normally I just go to break even and that's it, because what I do see happen a lot of times is candle come down, violate the previous low just for that liquidity push, and then continue on. So you have to be careful. Okay, so what I'll do here is you can see another potential scale end position right there on the break of that high, because if you do look at it there, we've closed above this level. How did that hourly start? Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's only the start of the 30-minute. Yeah, it is okay if your win rate is high, you know, it's up to you. If you use a fixed loss size, it will be a lot better as well. Okay. I see a potential scaling area here. So what I'll do is I'm only going to use 1% risk on it. And the reason is, right, we have closed above, excuse me, and then we have failed to close below this level. So let me zoom in here just to explain it a little bit better. So we have not closed below this level. Now, the only issue here is that the 30-minute has just started, but if you look here on the hourly, we're starting to break highs. So I definitely think this is a good scale in opportunity where you can grab, you know, quick 10 pips. So let's do that. 10 pips, and stop will be around here. That's okay. Okay. Let's see how this plays out here. So kind of met aggressively straight away, and we're pushing up. So price is moving quite aggressively, so you know, I'm just noting that here. And if we start moving into 6-7 pips profit on this, alright, so I could go to break even here on this position. I think it would be wise. I'm just going to let this 5-minute candle close because I don't want to get wicked out. So at this stage, I don't want price to come back to me scaling position. Should be fine unless the 15 comes down a little bit. But if we do get 10 pips quickly, then I will close. So we're in around 6.5 pips here. And we're running really nicely on this fake out. So this is where you can let your fake outs run a lot. And problem is we're coming up to here and it's a bit of a 30-minute resistance. So let's see if we can get here a couple of pips. So what do I want to do here? What I will do is I'm at break even on both actually, so it's okay. And let's play this out. And that was a nice little scale in position there. So I had an extra just 1% there because I didn't want to, in case it came back, which it could have easily, I didn't want it to reverse on me or anything. So let's play away here. What I will do with this position, because we're running in around 1 to 3 on this position now, I'll close another 50% out because potentially I could get back in above here. So is this making sense to everybody? So I closed another 50% there, leave me with around 15% on the table now. So I'll take that TP off and just let this run because I think it can run really nicely because we're pushing up quite a lot. What I will do here is come back around the New York session, I think, because I'd say we could be due for a little retracement. So did we get another confirm there? Yeah, we did, but couldn't really do anything. Okay, so let's come back in New York. And we are coming back around 11:30. So New York is around 1, yeah. So here we go. I like to come around an hour before New York session. So what I'll do here is, we did have a resistance here. So as you can see, prices actually came down and we have tapped that level, tapped into it, which is good to see. I like to see that, especially before continuation moves. If I do want another position, but keeping in mind I took 2 trades and I have a trade running, I would like a closure above here, and strictly only a closure. I won't be entering any impulses because I took 2 winning trades, so there's no reason here for me to force anything, you know. So let's see how we do form. Okay, now let's see that there. So it's 2 o'clock and that right there looks like a fake out to me. Similar to below there. And sometimes I trade, you could get in on the break of the high here, but it's a little bit aggressive and I'd rather close above the range. But just answering your question, sometimes I do trade both, but if I do have a really good London, I just tend to take New York off, you know. Okay, so let's get this trade off the screen. So we're approaching as well NYSE open, so keep that in mind. So this is looking like a perfect entry, and for a position I'm not going to take it because I'm going to be a little bit conservative, but possibly on the break of the high here. Let's see. So yeah, we didn't really get a great volume push. And what would I have gotten out of that? Yeah, it's only 6 pips and probably would have been stopped out at break even, to be honest. So let's go to the next day. There's no point watching this here because we don't trade at these times. Oh, that running position nearly got stopped out. Let's see. Don't know how we're surviving there. Clinging in. Let's have a look at that. Done well to survive that there. Right. So let's go to 6 o'clock. So we know that London opens at 8. We have a bit of a zone here, so I'm just going to bring this across. Then obviously we have a zone here which matches up with this here. If you see, whoa, what's going on? Let me just zoom out here. Don't know what was going on there. So we have a zone here as well, which matches up with this zone across here if you look. So you know, the ranges aren't great going up, I'm not gonna lie. And sells below here. So if you bring this across, you can see which zones it matches up with also. and it matches up with a good few zones. So what will we be looking for today? So buys above, I think this level is quite safe because I'm not too sure if you'd want to be taking anything in there. You know, it's not a great range to trade in. I'd rather just be a little bit more safe. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour, yeah, resistance up there, support back down here. Previous 4 hour was in fact bullish. Daily, now this is what I like here. So this daily can easily wick fill. It's actually a pity I didn't get in here on a daily close. You could easily wick fill around 30. See, it has moved a little bit now, so the range is smaller. It's only like, yeah, it's only around 20 pips there. It's not too good. So let's play ahead here. And I don't think I actually cloned these over, do I? No. Yeah, that looks fair. So let's just skip through a few candles here. There's no point in us watching this shite. See, now here you could potentially take a sell for London Open. You know, you've closed below this range here, and you could easily come back down to around 16 pips. The 4 hour is with it as well, and the hourly is with it as well. The only problem though you have there is that you're finding basically a daily candle, and you know, I like to kind of stick to playing with the daily candles more than anything. So you could definitely get in there. So let's just take a small risk trade there. So if I was to take a trade there and just to have me stop around there, I would have preferred to get in on the flip there. So that would be a trade that you could take as well, you know. Dun, dun. So as soon as we go into around 5 to 6 pips profit, I'll go to break even, as quick as possible, really. I may want to actually just close out this position now, on the other runner. Since I am anticipating it to come down to this range. So this is a bit of a counter trend trade, and it can be a little bit risky. Can be slightly risky. So let's see here. This is a bit of a adventurous trade. We are coming down though, and we are in. We still haven't reached 7 pips. Okay, so we're reaching around 7 there. The reason why I used less risk there was because it was a counter trend trade, so it's a little bit tough, but I did know that I was at the time of volume, so it could easily play out, and we're coming back up there. Can't speak too soon. So let's see how this 30-minute does close here. Yeah, we should be good here. Yeah, so let's secure this position here. Got to break even. You know, if this does close below there, you could potentially secure this whole range as well, but I'm just gonna close this trade out here. I'm happy enough with it. it was a counter trend trade, as I said, so it was a little bit riskier than the other ones that I took. So let's secure the full 10. Okay, let's see what happened here. Whoa. That was a nice secure there. And that's why when you're in them counter trend trades, you have to secure very quickly. Otherwise, you risk basically that happening right there, you know, where price just reverses. Because at any stage, this daily candle can flip back and continue on with the daily bias. So you need to be sharp and very quick at securing profits. So let's just bring this down a tad. I hope that made as much sense as possible for everyone. Alright, so let's skip here. To be honest, I won't be taking anything inside of these ranges. Nice. Okay, so let's go to New York. And we are just at pre-New York here. And as you can see, since we left the charts at around, 10 o'clock, not a lot happened. What did we move? Around 17 pips overall. No confirms at all, so there was no point watching that. Let's skip a bit here. Okay, the 15 minute. Let's just bring this up. We do have a clean. That's 5 pips. It's not enough for me. Whoa. That was quick there. But we are approaching a support. Yeah, some people have different strategies. I just tend to stick to the higher time frames and then grab me entries on the lower time frames. But whatever works for you works. Yeah, nothing here as of yet. Do you know what? It's actually 3 o'clock there, so apart from that at London Open, because we closed below that range, there was really nothing else here, kind of a lot of impulses. Maybe like Ramsey was saying, he probably would have dropped down onto a 5 minute or a 15 minute and caught something there, but I tend to like to stick to 30 minute, sometimes the 15 minute. Okay, so let's go to Friday. So Friday will be our last day. At 6:30. So great. So risk, let me just move that back up to 2. So let's just have a look at the trades we took quickly. So trades, we only took 1, 2, 3. 3 trades. Yeah, 3 trades in total. And we took that, 0.5% risk, but it wasn't too great. So let's see if we can catch maybe another 1 or 2. But it is a Friday as well, so we'll play it a little bit safe enough. I'm just trying to see here if there's any nice ranges that we can come into. What do you think of these ranges here? What do you think? They're quite They're a little bit bad, aren't they? A lot of sideways, as you can see here, a lot of sideways movement and no real nice ranges to come into. But let me know what you think of these as well. You can just trade one pair, you know, it's completely fine. I trade gold and GJ, but mainly GJ I stuck to in the funding challenge because I'm pretty good at GJ. And gold, I'm not afraid to admit that gold is a choppy sometimes as well. So, you know, maybe if you're doing a fun challenge, just stick to what you prefer the most. Yeah, the ranges are a bit choppy. So, why is that coming up like that there? Yeah, not great at all. I agree. Okay, let's have a look here at this. As it is a confirm, but the problem you have is the range. So a lot of people ask this, you know, what will I do if the confirm is there and I haven't traded all day? What will I do? You know, will I take the trade or will I just leave it? I'd recommend just to leave it, but there is a way that you can benefit from getting into a trade like this. So firstly you need a big bottom wick, which it's not really forming. Let's see. Okay, let's get this off the chart so it's a little bit clearer because I want this to be a good example. Yeah, I'd need a bigger bottom wick than that. Here we go. So the 15 is now closing. So keep that in mind. The other 15 actually looks like it rejected a bit. Yeah. Oh, hold on there. Hold on there. Okay. So the 30 minute is now, you know, we're starting to flip. What would be a good entry here? So I'm not going to use full risk on this because it's for tutorial purposes, so we'll use 1%. What you could do here is you could enter there and you could target the full range. I'd like a bigger stop than that there now. Around 10 pips minimum. And just anticipate this push. So I'll show you how I'll manage it as it goes on. If it does, it doesn't really look like. So it's not really moving forward here, which is fine. Let's see if we do get the push. We'll just have a mine up a level here. So the hourly is starting to close. Not too good, not too good. So we are starting to come down a bit here. So this could be actually a bit of a bad example, but what I wanted there was the top wick to form and then the continuation. And basically what I was gonna do was go to break even as soon as we went to this level. But as you can see, trading in these levels sometimes just isn't worth it, because this happens right here. So just wait for the simple levels up here or below there. Otherwise this happens. So there you go. That's why you wait. So let's see what will happen here. And do we get a better confirm? So we're at 2 o'clock here. Okay, there we go. So now we've waited all day, bear in mind, for this trade. We've waited all day for this trade. We've avoided trading down here and all of this. And now we are coming up to this here. So what do? We wait for a push down like that. And now we'll enter here with our stop around 10 pips and target. I actually can't see what price is down to the left there, so because it doesn't go back, but we'll target, let's say, 10 pips for now. So let's see how this moves here. Bearing in mind we've waited all day for this trade, you know. We're at MOSE, so we should get a push. Let's see what happens. So I won't manage risk yet. We should be okay. Keep on pushing, keep on pushing. Let's see how price will push. Okay. So now I think definitely we should be fine. This is MOSE open. So as soon as we get the bottom wick here, we should actually continue. Might be a little bit aggressive at the start actually. So we'll just have to watch out for that. But I'll map up the trade. Let's see. That's a beautiful confirm there. Okay, here we go. Here's the push. So potentially you could have waited for a 30-minute instead, but sometimes the 15-minute does go off. But here's a push here. Let's just manage this trade. So I'll show you how to manage this trade. So we're going to target around 10 pips. And let's see here. Before going to break even, I'm going to need it to go into, you know, around 6 or 7 pips. So we're actually approaching that here. So there you go. So we're in around 11 pips here. This is where you go to break even. So you could have went to break even around 7 pips, I'd say would have been safe there. Let's just have a look at that on the 15-minute also, so you can see it a little bit better. I'd say safely you probably should have waited for a 30 closure here, and then you could have avoided that little bit of, you know, nerves and drawdown, but it's okay. I'm used to it, you know. So on the hourly also, it looks pretty good. I don't see why this can't continue. Yeah, well, I actually like this trade a lot. So what you should do here is secure some. So I'll secure, it's Friday, I'll secure 70%, and just banking some profit there, and I'll probably secure the rest at like maybe 15 pips, I'd say. So the 15 is starting to close, so I just want to have a look at that. Oh, we've reached our target. So there we go. It's Friday here, you know. At this stage, it's 2:45, so there's probably no point here. 15 is closing in 15 seconds. So at this stage, I will secure this. So the reason why I didn't wait for the close there is only 15 seconds and it's Friday. And sometimes some people are happy just to secure at 10 pips, you know, which is completely fine. So let's see how this played out in the end. So there you go. That's the importance to secure, you know. You can't always just wait for those perfect exits and entries. Then we would have come back down to around 8 pips. So that was the week. So I'm finishing the week there around 5.5%. Bear in mind I took a 1% loss here as well. It was a little bit of a tutorial trade. I kind of wanted to show how you could go to break even straight away. So I think that's a pretty solid week, 5.5%. Let's just have a look here at the closed trades, and we are around an hour and a half into this stream, so I might do another 2 days. Do you want to see another 2 days of trading? Let me know if you want to see another 2 days, and I might just do them. Thanks, guys. So as you can see here with these trades, you can notice not much drawdown. In the ones that went into drawdown, this is the one I used 1% on here. You can see that took me out for a full position. And then here, we went into around 7 pips drawdown, but I wasn't really worried because of that confirm. So, will I do another day or two? Do you want to see another day or two? Dun, dun, dun. Let me see here. No problem. I may just call it here because we have been going for an hour and a half. So what I'll do here is I'll call it a stream here, and make sure to like and subscribe, and you know, tell your friends next time when you're coming on, you can come in to the group, you can chat to them in the YouTube chat, and we can all make it fun and interactive, as much as interactive as possible. So be sure to share the channel and just spread it around. I'm gonna do a lot of these over the Christmas because, as you know, we're coming to a break in trading where the volume is quite low, so I may as well just do a little bit of back testing, sharpen up the skills over the Christmas, and then start the new year right and really try and push on this year. This year will be very big, so